Hey everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm here today in the greenhouse in the sky where I wanted to give you guys a tour of how things have been doing in here. We're at about the 2-month mark here, so I thought it was a good time to show you all what's going on. We started planting in here at the beginning mid-May and it's mid-July, so I thought it's a good time to show the progress. Things have been going very, very well. We're very happy with the geothermal effects that we're having here. It has been consistently over 30 degrees for the last week here, and we're finding that the cold air that we're able to pump up and we're finding that the cooler air that we're able to pump up from below has been essential to keeping things comfortable and productive in here. We haven't lost any plants to heat, so super excited about that. As you can see, we have some new riggings up here that are doing really, really well. And I'm just going to take you down now and show you some of the stuff that's going on. This tomato bed wasn't up and running when I did my initial greenhouse tour, so I just want to show everybody how that's coming along. This year we're particularly pleased with our tomatillas. I've grown tomatillas for years, and I find that often they're a little spindly, but I think once again the consistent temperatures, consistent moisture is really like if you can see here, the stems on these are so nice and sturdy. Same with their little relative here, the ground cherries. We're hoping for a bumper crop this year, as I do like to do so much preserving. I do like to make a lot of salsa verde with this, a smoked one, and I'm so excited about how much we're gonna get. Usually I have to cut it about half and half with green tomatoes, but with the abundancy that we're seeing here, maybe we'll be able to make some true, just pure green tomatilla salsa this year. So I'm quite excited about that. We have also some really, really great, I know, okay, I know, I've overdone it, but you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't. And I have overplanted in here, but I am going to start doing some major pruning. And I spent hours last night just tying back some of these plants using my handy dandy sock ties. If you haven't seen those before, do give it a try. They're the best things, and why not use some of your old socks up? And they're nice and flexible. The plants seem to enjoy it. They don't get damaged. And we are, as you can see, we're training these plants. We are growing mostly indeterminate. In fact, I think there's only one determinate bush tomato in this whole thing. So we're training them to go up. And eventually we should expect some of them to reach those joists up there. We've done with this PVC pipe, we're using that as you can see across the whole greenhouse there, we're training a lot of our plants to grow vertically. We've got some concrete spikes that we put into the end, and then that fastens it into our guardrail raised beds. Yeah, we're reusing a lot here. So with the tomatoes, the tomato bed here, I've also planted in the front some peppers and some perennials because I want to see how long we can keep these tomatoes growing. And so I've got some sorrel and some Welsh onions and some basil, all sorts of lovely companion plants. But everything is fruiting up nicely. It is due for a prune very soon. I am going to take a few leaves out of the bottom and some of the extra suckers to see how high I can get these guys going and how productive. Over here we have our potato corn combo bed, and this has been incredibly productive. I'm really hopeful we're going to get some nice corn this year. We'll be able to keep the bears out this year. So with these big garage doors, last year they broke in and ate our corn just as it was fruiting up. But I think that these garage doors should keep the bears out. And we also have potatoes growing in here. We have been eating tons and tons of really delicious potatoes out of here. I just go in and dig around and grab a few out. We've been having those almost every night. Plus we have the scarlet runners are coming along nicely now. They're climbing up the corn, and they're now starting to feed onto these wonderful PVC pipe things. I'm hoping to get some really good beans out of here this year. It's doing amazingly well. We're really happy with this bed. And then over here, I find this one just stunning. Okay, I don't know what it is about squash plants, but I do just love how exuberant they are. The growth is amazing. So this is our three sisters bed. Okay, and as you can see, they're going crazy. We've got the corn in the middle again. This bed was planted a couple weeks after the potato bed, so the corn isn't quite as far along, but the squash is doing amazing. We've got some beautiful fillet beans growing in here, climbing up all around. I've also got cukes growing in here in the front. One of the things I did want to show off in here though was the radish. I grow tons of radish, mostly as a companion plant, and for the, oh no, see, it brings the pollinators. They love it. It wards off squash bugs. And you can get out of one radish, instead of eating just one radish, all these wonderful little blooms. They are edible, they can be eaten, but they also produce an amazing little pod, which is like which resembles, here's one that's not quite ready, but still tastes delicious. I'm going to be pickling tons and tons and tons and tons of radish pods here. They taste like a radish, but they have the texture and consistency of a snap pea, so they're perfect for pickling. And I'm growing tons of these. They're one of the best companion plants. The flower is actually rather pretty, and so if you haven't used radish in this way before, maybe give it a try. I think you'll be quite pleased with the results. We got some lovely squash coming on here. All right, I've got way too much in here. Once again, we're encouraging vertical growth as much as possible. Get these guys going up as far high as they can so we can plant other things down below. I've also got some nice nasturtiums coming along in here, and marigolds. Can never have enough marigolds. Over here, this is a really pretty bed. This bed is full of edible flowers and companion plants. This is my pollinator friendly bed. They're just constantly in here. I'm going to be picking a bunch of this calendula today to make a salve with pineapple weed. I also have got cornflowers growing in here, tons of borage. Borage is a wonderful pollinator friendly plant. Tastes like cucumber. The leaves are really great. Ooh, here's another radish with a pod that's actually ready. Yummy, yummy. Sunflowers are about to bud up here. And we've been harvesting tons of broccolini and tons of bok choy. Some of my bok choy is going to seed, and I'll be harvesting that soon and saving some of that. But this has been a very quick producing bed. This bed was planted weeks after these other two, but as you can see, it's already producing a ton. And I got some orache here, lots of good greens. This is sort of what I call my stir fry bed, I guess you would say. Lots of really lovely, delicious things that have bloomed quickly. I'm gonna save one. This broccolini is so good. I had to be talked into it. I'm normally a Guyland fan, but this broccolini has been delicious, and I'm just gonna leave one of them to go to seed completely, and so that I can plant that again next year. Okay, so there's that. Now we have some experiments going on in here, because you know me, I like to play. What we're doing here is some experiments on putting water reservoirs with soil bags. We're having lots of fun with it. These tomatoes were ones that we got at a farmer's market and ate and liked so much that we thought we'd give it a try to see if they breed true. So far they seem to be, so we're really looking forward to seeing how these turn out. They're doing amazingly well. We also have peppers and squash, more tomatoes. Over here, I think we have enough tomatoes. We got some. These are all waiting to be planted. Even in a greenhouse this large, we're having a hard time finding enough room for all this stuff that we're doing because we're crazy. And then over here, I have some peppers that we started. I'm also growing artichoke this year. We also have some grapes in 3 corners. We're testing to see where the grapes grow best. And some perennial herbs like tarragon. Now here, this is the bed that was planted first, and it's doing incredibly well. I'm going to talk a little bit, I'm going to make a whole separate video about Seymour and Sutherland, our 2 spaghetti squash plants. But I'm going to be spending a lot of time today cutting, tying back, and harvesting. I've got to harvest these. I've got so many beans in here. I've got to harvest. I think I'm going to make some Caesar beans out of them because I also got lots of peppers ready and some beautiful herbs. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll ferment some of those as Caesar beans. Hopefully I'll make a video about that if I have time. But as you can see, it's crazy. Like the amount of food we're producing out of here, My gosh, this lettuce. I know a lot of people don't like to grow lettuce in greenhouses because they say that it gets too hot. But with this geothermal energy, we're getting beautiful lettuce. These ones that were planted on May 8th are starting to bolt, but that's great because I do want to harvest seeds from these. Oh my gosh, my marigolds. You know what I'm finding really interesting is the marigolds that I planted from my own seed are doing so much better than the marigolds that I transplanted in here. I've actually had to pull most of those out, and these are all marigolds now that were planted from seed with the lettuce, and they're doing really well. Here's one of my favorites, nasturtiums. This is almost ready to start harvesting on. Nasturtium is quite delicious. It has a really peppery flavor, but what I like to harvest the most are the seeds. And then I make like a, so once these flowers start to come to, once these flowers are done blooming, they start producing these lovely little green seeds, which make a wonderful caper-like thing. And I do have videos about that, you can see. Oh my gosh. And then over here, more nasturtiums, more tomatoes. This is Sutherland, named after the wonderful Donald Sutherland, an invasion of the body snatchers, because honestly, this thing is, can you see? It's insane. And then we have more corn here. More squash here. This is a nice Hubbard coming along. Oh, we've got a sunflower down. I'm gonna have to tie that up today. And this I like to call my Mediterranean corner because I've got a pomegranate. We're gonna try growing pomegranate in here. Bay laurel, tarragon. I've got some lemon thyme, artichoke, and this is a test plant. This is a hibiscus for making tea and stuff with. It supposedly is good to 10 degrees. So if we can keep this alive through the winter, then I know that we can start doing that. There's a lot we can grow in here. And right here in this corner, I'm just waiting to pick up a fig tree. Yeah, pretty excited about that. So that's what's going on in here. It won't be long now before we can share some of the design specs on how we're making this work. But we are so pleased. I have never seen a garden produce like this, and it's so wonderful to be able to share this bounty with people. I'm doing a lot of preserving. I'm going to have to do a lot of preserving over the next little while to keep up with this. But last shot, see, isn't that beautiful? Woo! I wish I was able to hang out in here every day, but I'm only here about a third of the time. It's a beautiful space. We do hope to produce more educational stuff out of here soon. So I hope you'll visit again soon. And as always, I hope you'll take this chance to grow together today. Have a good one.